Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. You know, I find it endlessly fascinating that the prices on your screen right now on Live Coin Watch are prices that people would have just been dreaming of a couple years ago. And here they are in real life. It's right there on your screen, and nobody cares. Not literally nobody, but I'm saying the market is not exactly euphoric right now. Not even close to it. Retail's not paying attention. I mean, I've shown you recently. Nobody is even Google searching Bitcoin, XRP, so on and so forth. But here we are. This is just kind of the new norm and people expect it. Now, the good news is this is the type of environment and the type of mindset that you would hope and expect if prices indeed are going to go higher. People get wrong-footed all the time, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in this video, but lots to say here. I got perspective from tons of different XRP chart analysts, including one who explains why he's going to be selling his XRP at much higher prices, closer to that $27 mark. And I will not at all be surprised if XRP indeed gets to double-digit price action this cycle. In my mind, I mean, if it's not going to happen, that means that the whole market fell apart and then XRP just didn't go higher I don't think that's remotely probable. I think we are going to have a massive blow off top here. I think Bitcoin's going to hit a new all-time high, go parabolic, one final parabolic rally for the cycle to end it. You're going to see Bitcoin dominance drop, and you're going to see altcoins go crazy. XRP will continue to outperform the other top 100 coins. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. As I record this video, it is 11:38 p.m. Central Time, Monday, May 19th, 2025. XRP is $2.37. Bitcoin at $105,678. And man, it's been volatile today. It certainly has. XRP dropped within the last 24 hours as low as $2.29, got as high as $2.41. And Bitcoin, same story here, got down to close to 102,000, and that was after hitting almost $107,000, and it's come up a bit since then. It's just all over the place. Here's a post from chart analyst Credible Crypto, Bitcoin USD chart here. He said, history might not repeat, but it often rhymes. Let's rip past those prior all-time high now, please. And you can see what he's highlighting here, similar behavior. We're just in consolidation right now. It's just another short-term phase of price consolidation. And really, if it's, as far as it pertains to XRP, I mean, ever since hitting its all-time high earlier this year, the first new all-time high in 7 years, it's just found a new base of support. It's just consolidating. And you love to see it. And that's historically normal. That is what has happened in each of the last two market cycles. It happened in the 2021 bull run, happened in the 2017 bull run. It's doing the same thing again now. And it's just wild to see, again, XRP priced as high as it is without the market going berserk. It's just, again, it's just expected now. It's just normal, which isn't to say it can't go lower. It's still going to, it's crypto. It's still going to be volatile. It's the most volatile asset class that's ever existed. So yeah, it's still going to be like that. But I don't think it's going back to the prices we saw before the election. I don't think we're going to see 49 cents again. Here's a post from chart analyst Jelly. Says, it's been simple for 2.5 years. Don't overcomplicate it now. Next screen dot coming soon hashtag Bitcoin. And so you can see what he's getting at here. He's just noting the last couple of years we have indeed been trending up. Notable highs and lows. If you zoom out and look on the higher time frame, that's all that's happening right now. I absolutely buy that narrative because that's historically what happens every single cycle. We're just not done yet. We're very close though. And we're going to absolutely need to have some serious conversations about top indicators for the market when they start coming in, but they're not in. Definitely not yet. Here's a post from chart analyst Crypto Insight UK. He shared this snippet from his newsletter, and he's talking about Bitcoin here. And if indeed he is correct about this, and it seems pretty reasonable to me, then much sooner than later, we're going to see everything start going insane again. One day you'll just wake up and it will be happening. You never know for sure what day it's going to be. But Bitcoin will lead it. That's what always happens. And then altcoins will follow, like XRP. And that's the exciting part. I'm not highlighting this Bitcoin news because I'm particularly excited about Bitcoin. I'm really not. It's one of my largest holdings still. I'm going to sell all that crap coin. It's the pet rock of crypto. And then take those profits And then really, I'm looking for the life-changing wealth, frankly, to come from my altcoins. That's really where I'm counting on the bulk of it to come from, because yeah, Bitcoin's one of my most valuable individual crypto bags right now, but you're not going to get much of a multiplier effect from here. So anyway, he wrote, I will reiterate though, I do feel the next big move is up. I don't know why I'm just posting this over and over for you guys. You could just read what I wrote on Saturday, haha. And so what did he write? Well, it's on your screen. He says, I want to highlight that the longer we stay in this range, the more positive I feel about our prospects. It reminds me of the range we saw between March and November of last year. We're likely somewhere around the area highlighted in the pink circle. So he's talking about this for those of you looking at the screen. And what happened there? Well, this area where there wasn't a lot of excitement at that point, it preceded a massive move, obviously, after the election, as you well know to this point. We're just in another similar type of moment. And so he says, again, we're likely somewhere around the area highlighted in the pink circle, which could mean we have anywhere from a few days to up to 60 days left in this range. Okay, and so there he's not promising a specific timeline. No analyst can consistently predict time, but he's saying that very obviously, because if it's going to play out roughly like happened last time, that's about what it would be. So that's the neat thing. You literally could wake up any day and the market's just going and we're in a new all-time high, and eventually that is going to happen. So it could be a few days, or maybe it's a couple months. Anywhere in there. Maybe it's somewhere in between. Maybe that's the truth, but it's coming. In fact, I was listening to the Blockchain Backer's most recent video, and he seems to think that into late May and the beginning part of June, there's probably not going to be that much price action. And so maybe he ends up being right, but nobody can know for sure. It really could just happen any day. But either way, even if that's the case, we still don't have to wait that much longer. We are living in this moment directly preceding some massive movement where XRP will, for the first time, enter price discovery and melt faces in over 7 years. And so he says, our extremely positive sign is the increasing liquidity above current levels since May 12th. This suggests that more people are taking leveraged short positions, which, in my view, could lead to more aggressive breakout when it happens. I anticipate that once we break out, we could see a rapid move towards the $130,000 plus region, similar to what we observed in the November timeframe. When this move comes, it may involve some manipulation by market makers, making decision-making challenging. However, the increasing leverage suggests that a breakout is likely imminent. Based on what I'm seeing, I'd put a 90% chance on us reaching at least $130,000 plus this cycle. Okay, and I am seeing from tons of analysts say, actually a few of them, not just him, have used the word imminent. When I start to notice that, I'm like, okay, well, so there's at least an agreement that sooner than later, even if they'll have slightly different ideas of what that means, we really are going to get a move. And that I am seeing from every analyst under the sun. All the ones that I follow are saying, yeah, it's going to happen. Here's a post from chart analyst Mustache, #altcoins. He says, ladies and gentlemen, the cycle isn't over yet. And this is the crypto total market cap excluding Bitcoin and ETH. He says, the best and most exciting part with many sleepless nights is yet to come. Make the best of it. Here you can see on the chart, he's basically just comparing what we're going through right now, formation-wise, to what happened last cycle. And he's saying the same thing's playing out. It's just that it's taking a little bit longer this time. It's more stretched out. And that's one of the reasons that analysts can never consistently predict price, because even if they nail whatever the chart formation is that's playing out, it can go a little bit longer or shorter than what had happened in the past. And I think this chart very well illustrates that. You can see the blue phase that we're in now versus last cycle and how long that lasts. Same for the yellow, and same for the accumulation period in this orange box compared to the last cycle. But it's still coming. It's certainly still coming. Here's a post from the Blockchain Backer from September 27th, 2024. It says the euphoria of March through April is 100% washed out. You guys remember that? Remember how the market was really excited in the beginning part of last year after Bitcoin hit a new all-time high? Well, by the time September rolled around, wasn't so much the case. And so here, again, he just posted this morning, again, the euphoria of December and January is 100% washed out. Same situation. But that's what you want. Then you get a reset, frankly. And so in his most recent video, he's stated something that I've talked about a number of times on this channel. Is you don't, at the end of the market cycle, this is not the sentiment. At the end of the market cycle where it peaks, that's where everybody believes it's up only. You know, every single slight pullback you have, it's for buying, and then they're wrong though. Eventually, like you eventually do hit the top. But in this moment where this type of price action is occurring and nobody believes that, like, that's not the sentiment that marks the end of any cycle in crypto in history. Never has a cycle ended with the sentiment being what it is right now. It's just a matter. So it's one more thing you can look at, and there's no end all be all metric or consideration when it comes to tracking when the peak of a cycle is. But this is one thing, that's for damn sure. Here's another post from the blockchain backer. He says, and he's got Bitcoin charts on the left and right here, and so you can see where we are on the left here and where he roughly thinks we're going to end up. So even if we have to wait a little bit longer, and even if we have a pullback into the mid-90,000s, as he's warning here effectively could happen, the answer ultimately is yes, we are going to resume to the upside and hit a new all-time high. And he says, corrective for the time being before the bigger rally happens, likely ABC. Crowd sentiment never returned, even after almost hitting all-time high. Wall of worry phase. They'll remain that way through this and get wrong-footed at the end. I'm going to annoyingly bull post through it. Yes, please. Be as annoying as possible because I'm here for it, my friend. and he is right. And, given that there's nobody paying attention, and I say no, not literally. It's not to be taken literally. But people aren't in retail, just they're not paying attention. You're not getting all the Google searches, so on and so forth. And so you might be wondering, okay, well, we need the new money to flow in. What's going to trigger that? Well, I think the answer is a new all-time high. And we're so close, and it's not enough for people to be excited. Well, wait till the headlines start when there's another new all-time high that starts going. It's just fuel to the fire. That's the next part that's coming here. And it's gonna hit even harder for the altcoins. That's the exciting thing about all of this. It's gonna be way better and when people take profit out of Bitcoin, so many of them are gonna throw it into XRP and other top coins. You just wait. That's what's happened every single cycle. Here's a post from chart analyst Dally Martinez. XRP could return to $2 if it loses the critical $2.30 support. And by the way, he's not the only one that's noting that particular price level. Here's a chart analyst Greg Crypto also citing that exact same level. He says fib.888 must hold $2.30. And so at least at the time I'm recording this, we're safely above it. The good news is, even if we do go a little bit lower, all of this is historically normal and would not invalidate, from any analyst I see anyway, the expectation that we are going to see much higher prices. Double digits for XRP. Here's another post from chart analyst Greg Crypto. He says, when I'll sell a big portion of XRP. You got an XRP USD chart on the screen here, and he says, if the 21 EMA experiences a bearish cross with the 33 SMA on the weekly chart, that's my signal. The top was in, and we're heading into a bear market. Many will still believe we're going higher, but that cross signals a major trend shift. And folks, please, especially if you're new, please be aware of this. This is something that's of critical importance, and you could fall into this trap yourself. Whenever the market peaks, let me just reiterate this. People will not believe that's the peak. The typical lemming retail speculator out there is like, no, what are you talking about? The market's hot right now. They'll feel like it's just going to go on forever. And then people that have life-changing wealth, that results in some of those people just not selling because I don't want to sell too soon. Well, if it's life-changing, maybe consider that. Just saying right here. But that is something that's going to happen. The market will think we're going higher, except for we won't be. And then you do get a crash, as he ends up citing here. And by the way, all that's going to happen. Like XRP price is absolutely going to crater after it hits a massive new all-time high, and that's normal. That happens for every coin. And I will take advantage of that when we get back into the bear market. I'm going to buy a metric fuck ton of XRP. I'm going to do it all over again. Anyway, and then he says, in past instances, May 2018 and November 2021, these crosses led to significant drops of 87% and 72% respectively. Well, folks, that's why I was saying earlier in the video, when we get these top signals, I'm going to be screaming about them on this channel so we don't get wrong-footed. You need to, if we're really approaching the end of the cycle, we got to talk about it. I know it's not what people are going to want to hear, but we're going to need to talk about it when we get there. Now, we're not there. We need to see a whole bunch of things happen before we're there. But you are going to see massive drops again. It is to be expected. Anyway, it says, taking the average, the next major drop could be around 79.5% from the bearish cross point. Then he says, when the 21 EMA crosses above the 33 SMA, it's a bullish signal. Historical data shows 4 key bullish crosses, each resulting in notable pumps. And then he cites specific levels. He says, based on these bullish signals, I believe XRP could see another major pump, similar to the 1,600% move, this time pushing us toward around $27 from the current level. Markets are unpredictable, but these signals are worth paying attention to. Yeah, they most certainly are. Don't want to be caught with your head in the sand. When the market peaks, you want to know about that. Even if you prefer that it just keep going up forever, that's not a realistic thing. There's this post from chart analyst Peppa on May 16th, and I shared it at the time. I'm not going to reread the whole thing, but he was noting that XRP is going to print a massive, or that is printing a massive bullish flag. He said potential target of $15 plus. And he's just reiterating that. Just yesterday, he reposted that and simply wrote TikTok XRP. So with everything happening, the analysts that I follow insist that this thing is going to blow. And it's going to blow much sooner than later. Here's another post. This is from chart analyst Dark Defender. He says, we discussed that XRP has completed the A wave. Now we are on B wave. So wave 2 is in its midway. All-time high is closer than anyone else can think of. See the theme here? This is something that they all agree on. I just, like all of them. Now they'll squabble over whether it means a few days or a couple months or whatever, but all of them believe that we're living in the time that directly precedes, new all-time high for XRP again, and price discovery for the first time in over 7 years. None of them think that won't happen. Chart analyst Greg Matsby here, another analyst, case in point here, XRP USD chart on the screen. He simply wrote breakout and backtest completed XRP with an arrow pointing much higher to double-digit price action. Here's a comment from X-Force Global. You can see sentiment here, very positive. XRP is screaming for higher levels. That's what he wrote. Here's a post from chart analyst Bobby A. He says, nothing can stop what is coming for XRP and the altcoin market. Nothing. No news narrative, scare tactic, Moody's downgrade, tariff tantrum, or anything else can stop it. You'll see it's cyclical. Now, that is spot on. And by the way, all these analysts that I'm highlighting here, they all accurately called that XRP would break out this market cycle. They're worth listening to. They've been right. They have track records that are reputable. And here, another one saying, no, it's going to go. It's cyclical. Yes, of course. The answer is yes. Here's a post from chart analyst Mr. Zoom. He says, as of yet, no close above the $2.50 zone for XRP. Once that's broken, a move to $2.80 will be swift. Once $2.80 zone is broken, XRP to new all-time high. Yeah, so I've seen, analysts, they can squabble over the what's the most precise key level to consider, but I've seen analysts post very similar things all around those price zones, indicating that indeed is what the significance is. So, we're living in that moment. It's coming, folks. And it's just crazy to think the ride we've been on, because again, just a couple years ago, all these prices that are on my screen right now on Live Coin Watch, like that's what you would have been dreaming of, and it's real life right now. XRP above $2, and not because of an overheated market, just because that's just what it's worth now. Like that's the value. Like that's the normal price now. It's just, this is what dreams are, and this is where it is before it has the next major move to the upside. Like, my God, I can only imagine where XRP is going. And I do have some imagination about that. I think we all do, right? We all got our hopes as far as that's concerned. But whatever it ends up being, suffice it to say, much, much higher. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.